Pushing. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Is this thing on?
Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, I gotta fix my caption.
Got the wrong date.
Once again. There it
That's
is.
okay. We only believe in a time called now.
That's right. Once upon a time called right now. I'm all discombobulated. Hold on. Well, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Tamika. Okay.
Say what? Say what?
I'm thinking about Tamika coming on today. I'm kind of excited about that.
Oh, that's what's up.
It just kind of hit me.
Like, oh, Tamika.
Yeah, these Facebook names be changing. But hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning, y'all. Man, Pops gives us a good morning. Oh, I can't believe it's Friday. Yep. Good morning, Pops. Leah Keister says happy Friday. Happy Yippee Friday. Put a yippee on.
Fry yippee yay.
Fry yippee yay. Okay.
So kind of a tongue twister.
I think she be having a long week.
Man,
She be
excited for Fridays.
I'm trying to tell you. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. What's happening, Miss Lewis? What up? Shout out to the 630 crew. Some changes on the radio channel. I don't know if you can hear us clearly. If you can, give us the high sign.
Yeah, is this thing on? Let us know.
People be trying to change the technology on us, knowing we slow about it. What's up? Friday, September 16th, 2022. Fresh Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
There you go, man. We're here. We're up. We're doing it. It's time for y'all to get on up. Move your body. Pop says everything is fine. I'm talking about the radio channel over on firstskyOmaha.com, the listen button. We have some people listening on the radio channel too, and the radio channel is tripping this morning. They do something extra. So those of you hit me up on Facebook or give me a text if you know me. See what's going on the radio channel. But I'm glad everything is fine over here on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, do us a favor and share the show. You know the drill.
Man.
Fresh edition.
Tell a friend.
That's right. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Tell a friend, like Buddy's saying. Y'all feel good on a Friday? Chrissy Norris says, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Hey.
Oh, it's all good, Pop. It's all good. Appreciate it.
But if you could, go over to firstskyOmaha.com, click that listen button, and tell us if the coast is clear.
There you go. I'm waiting on some messages back on that one. We'll see how it works. Extensive haps today. You know what it is. Special guest in the house. As a matter of fact, Buddy just got excited about the special guest too. That's what's up.
Yeah. It's kind of hit me.
Okay,
because the names were wrong. Like, well, not necessarily wrong, but they're different.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
I guess. Yeah, you can say that. We can go with that. I guess we should let the people know. Again, we are expecting Tamika Meese, as you might know her. We have her as Tamika Renee. But yes, Tamika Meese, the founder of the North Omaha community. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to say foundation. It's like a North Omaha Community Alliance. It's a group of group of groups on the front lines.
That's what's up.
Groupception.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We definitely have a special guest coming on today and talk about some things. Medicine Song says, "Peace, Kings." It's Friday. Everybody happy about it's Friday.
Man, peace.
Ron's Reviews over there on YouTube channel, man. Appreciate you over there on YouTube. You over there singing some of that. Doing it in the park.
Hey.
Doing it at the dark. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's listening to that old school. That's what's up. I'm loving it. Marianne Williams says, "Morning. I'm listening on the radio channel. It sounds like Buddy is sitting in a tin can.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Appreciate
doesn't
you.
Sound like I'm in a tin can on here.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's the radio. The radio channel's tripping. They got a new thing. I had to do something special just to get both of our voices on. So I'm not sure what's going on over there. But thank you for letting us know. Buddy in a tin can. Mm-hmm. Beth Davis Wilson says, "Morning. Good morning to you as well. What's going on in the Deuce over there on this Friday, September 16th, 2022? Live from Atlanta over here. We got Buddi3 Da Gawd that's doing the thing over there. And I'm over here in Omaha, Nebraska, still in the COVID.
The COVID, man. Yeah. You were telling me it finally hit you.
It did, yeah. So I think I got it again, man. Seriously, like was in the house for like a month and a half after that trip. Went out for approximately 4 days, caught it again, is what I think really happened. So, but it's nowhere near severe this time around. But yeah, definitely felt it yesterday. And like I said, I took that test and came back positive. So I'm still in the house. Luckily, I can do this from here. We left the studio just in time.
man, right? The double take it. Literally, had we still been at the studio, the last time we used Webberize was when, like, right before we left for California. Is that?
Yeah. So we just been
literally had man, Margie. Oh man, yeah. Y'all took a vacation.
Shout out to the Webberize crew too, for sure, man.
Man, yeah. Y'all took a vacation right on time.
Right on time. Akava Watson says,
"It's Kava.
Kava Watson.
Miss Kava. Yes, okay. Yes. Is a family friend. Hello, welcome.
That's what's up. Huh? Good morning, First Sky family. All right, that's what's up. Family and family on family. That's what's up." Marianne Williams says, "Sounds fine in FB." Okay, so Buddy's in the tin can over on the radio channel. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. Ron's Reviews, Leia Keister, good morning. Oh, he was giving some good mornings inside the chat. That's what's up. I appreciate you, brother. Vaughn Chapman says, "Good morning with some sunshine." Pop says, "Wow, take care." Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with this. Man, I'm not happy about it.
I was gonna ask. So you said 4 days? You're only outside 4 days?
Man, that literally like finally got a positive. I mean, a negative result. But again, it was a home test, negative result, and I think I was out for about 5 days. I think I stepped out 2 of those days. One of them was a meeting with somebody who ended up having COVID. And then they called and was like, "Yeah, it came down positive the next day after that meeting." I said, "Okay." So I stayed in the house another 4 or 5 days, just like, you're supposed to stay like 4 days or so just to see if it's going to jump on you. Went and took a test, first of all, that test took like 5 days to come back. When it finally did, it was positive. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on, man? But then last night or yesterday, I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. And I think I've been feeling it for the past couple of days and didn't really realize I was feeling it.
So, you did say your sinuses were kind of bothering you on Wednesday.
And look, this is the thing, man. I was looking at the Ernie Chambers channel yesterday, and they had a young lady on as a new anchor, and she was talking about the fact that we're in the flu season, and you don't know, you might have flu. You don't know if you got flu, sinuses, change in season and temperature, stuff affecting you, hay fever, or COVID. So yeah, man, it's all over the place. That's the problem. You don't really know what it is. You don't know what you got. They're saying go ahead and get the flu shot. Go ahead and get the booster. So I don't know. Pop says, "I'm telling you, all it takes is one person." I know, man. Just like pregnancy, only takes one time.
Okay. I didn't know you were going there with it.
Me neither. Stacey Jean said, "Good morning, First Sky Omaha family and friends. TGIF been waiting for your stinking butt all week. I appreciate you coming on."
Okay. Hey.
Okay. I appreciate. Yeah, I heard that, man. Everybody's looking forward to Friday. Everybody sounds like y'all had a hard week this week. What was going on?
Yeah. Let us know what's going on in your world.
Yeah. Wanda Lou said, let us know if you need a package dropped at the door. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Might have to hit Brother Muhammad up for a bean pie. I don't know how bean pie exactly helps COVID, but somehow it does. So just put that out.
Just pick your spirits up just a little bit. Yeah. Hey, a care package can go a long way, man. So definitely, if y'all can make that happen for my guy, I appreciate that. Speaking of that, also if you are able to pitch in on the meal train, that's still chugging along. So shout out to Miss E if she's tuned in, Sister E.
Yep.
Miss E's Play School.
Yeah, if you don't know, one of our chat timers, Miss Erica Felt, has gone through some major surgery. She had to shut her business down for a while in order to heal up over there. She's healing up fine. She's been back in the chat, chiming in just like she does, So, but she still needs a little assistance because she's kind of, got to take it easy. Got to sit back and heal up. So
said she busted some stitches the other day.
Yeah, man. See, that's what happens when you're a single mother and a superwoman. You be trying to do too much. So again, she needs to sit down, chill out. But I can understand the worry about keeping your business afloat, keeping the rent paid, and having to deal with making dinner. Figuring out food every night is a chore in itself for everyone right now, especially how high food prices are. So this meal train is a special thing where you can get on and you can put yourself on the calendar to bring her food, or you can put yourself on the calendar to send her food. And then there's also a function where you can drop some loot to help with those bills there. So definitely, I put that in the chat right now. Definitely hit up the meal train. Still got a ways to go on that goal. You got to figure it out how much she's going to need and how many and for how long. So we need to reach that goal. So hit her up again for sure. Rome's review says the railroad strike is tentatively over, not final yet. Save if you can. Yeah, we definitely have that in the headlines. Matter of fact, buddy, why don't we go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about today? Let the people know what's happening.
Yeah, man, we'll be giving an update on the railroad strike situation that was threatening the nation to the tune of billions of dollars per day. So, yeah, we're definitely going to dive into that. Hopefully, things are cooling off on both fronts with those negotiations. Also, continuing to follow the money for season 4. We'll definitely be looking at a few hearings that's coming up and let you know where to have your voice heard, where to tap in and pull up, a seat to the table, if you will. Still having those conversations and now looking for public input for LB 1024, that $350 million that's expected to come into North, South, and rural parts of Nebraska. So we'll definitely look into that. Also, more money, man. Bags aplenty coming into Omaha, Nebraska, man. Definitely bags on bags, man. 50 million coming into Southside Terrace. I don't know if Sister Snipes is in the building, but definitely would love to hear her thoughts on this situation. I believe she has actually been in conversation with the company that's looking at this, Canopy. And so we'll look at that again. $50 million coming specifically to the Southside Terrace apartment. So we'll definitely talk about that coming up. Also, we'll actually be starting the show off, picking up where we left off on Wednesday, looking at this latest hearing surrounding the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, looking at possible mental health facilities. Yes, as the great DJ Khaled says, another one.
Another one.
Man. So, yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, kind of continuing our conversation on the Good Old Boy Network as we kind of, joked around and played with the concept of what was going on behind the scenes, kind of reading between the lines with the Scott Frost situation. I don't know if you heard this latest bombshell, but now a similar story coming out. Well, not necessarily similar, but you can definitely draw the connection coming out of Mississippi with the governor of Mississippi and football legend Bret Farve. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but we will definitely be talking about that and more. Also, we definitely got a shout out to all the chat chimers who dropped this on us. Also, shout out to the dynamic duo senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, Batman and Robin, or Batman and Batman, as we like to call them around here, calling out Omaha Police Department, asking them to make the Brady list available to the public. If you don't know what the Brady list is, we will be telling you all about that and more coming up. Again, we're live for the next 2 hours. Buddi3 Da Gawd, Paul B, all of you, the chat chimers, ghost listeners, first and last time listeners. If the shoe fits, wear it. We definitely appreciate you for tuning in with us. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, in between time, it's about 15 minutes into the hour. Paul B,
Yo.
Let's go.
Let's do it. What up? Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Marianne Williams is giving us an update here on what's going on with the radio channel. I don't know if you can hear me on the radio channel now. I moved myself so Buddy can be heard. So let us know if that is fixed over there on that channel there. I appreciate Marianne Williams checking in on us for us. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. This is what is this? September the 16th, 2022. Shout out to the Weatherized crew and everybody who is doing the work of taking the Facebook channel and posting it on their page. Do us a favor, share the show. Really, really appreciate it. Pops says coolest intro in the land. Appreciate you, Pops. Thank you very much.
Also, my man Paul B.
There you go. Also, Medicine Song says, yes, shout out to the dynamic duo. Yes, we'll be talking about Brother Terrell McKinney. We call them Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names. And
gotta say the whole thing.
There you gotta say the whole thing, like Pimp Called Slipback. What a Tribe Called Quest, all of it.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Medicine Song also says healing vibrations to Miss Erica. Absolutely. Wanda Lewis puts Miss Erica's Cash App in the chat as well. You can hit her up directly with some help if you want to do it that way. Definitely help out and work that out for her as well. Ron's Reviews over on YouTube channel. We really appreciate the YouTube listeners over there too. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. He says, I work for the railroad for 16 years now. Never have gotten any kind of bonus. No turkey for Thanksgiving, ham for Christmas, etc. Worked the last 3 years without contract or raise. Woo. We got somebody who's in direct independent, contact here with the railroad for that story. No wonder they're trying to strike. Here's some firsthand information on somebody who's talking about that situation. But apparently we've averted a little bit of trouble there when it came to that right at this moment anyway. That's just probably a temporary fix. We'll definitely get to that. But in the meantime, whatever's on your hearts and minds, like Buddy always says, let us know what's going on with you. This show does not happen without you, and we definitely want to have this conversation with you, chat with you about some things. It's actually a really full day. There's a lot of news going on today. We're going to try to get through it all and have some discussion about it too. So share the show if you're on Facebook. Tell a friend. If you are on YouTube. We're also on Twitter Live too, if that's more your speed. So definitely check us out over there. Appreciate that. Also, one last thing, the 16th of September, Mexican Independence Day. Viva la raza, power to my people, straight up. That's what's going on, straight up. Rome's Reviews, Mayor Sanchez letting us know what the day is. So that's what's up. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Viva la raza.
Yes, sir.
Peace. I did want to ask a question, Brother Sanchez, really quickly, while he's sharing anecdotes about his time as a railroad worker. The big thing that this is all centering around is not being able to go to the doctor and things like that. I'm just wondering, have you experienced anything like that? Has there ever been a time where you had to go to the doctor, had to take some time off for any reason, and you received pushback or, got some flack for that? So yeah, let us know.
Okay. Spoke to some radio channels out. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you giving us the update on that. I feel bad for the radio listeners over there. We might have to work on that tech after the show. Not much I can really do now at this point. Yeah. So thank you, Marianne Williams, for checking that out for us. Just tell everybody who that's listening to it to come on over to Facebook, join the conversation over here, and come to the first Sky Omaha regular page there so they can jump in on the chat and be seen and heard and so on and so forth. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. In the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and jump into the first story here and get the ball rolling. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. Well, I actually wanted to pick up where we left off on Wednesday. It was a pretty spirited discussion surrounding the mental health facility, the pending mental health facility that's going to be at 50th and Grand. And now, again, Douglas County Board of Commissioners are expecting another. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of fading out a little bit. Go ahead.
Having all kind of technical difficulties. One second.
Bear with us, y'all. Technical difficulties all the time going on. We're always battling.
How about now?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. Apologize about that. But yes. Again, picking up where we left off on Wednesday, talking about the mental health facility, and not the one on 50th and Grand that we talked about, but yet another facility that Douglas County Board of Commissioners are considering, and they will actually have 4 town hall meetings to discuss this with the public. So they are taking that step. This is an opportunity. I know a lot of us, including myself, were asking about the 50th and Grand location, like who came up with this, who was a part of those initial conversations, and now you have opportunity to be a part of this conversation. Actually, the first meeting was yesterday, so there's 3 more. The next will be this upcoming Monday, the 19th, at Metro Community College, the South Omaha campus, at the Center for Advanced Manufacturing, room 120. There's also 2 more meetings coming up in October. One will be on October 4th, and then the following one will be on Tuesday, October 18th, so 2 weeks later. So again, you have 3 opportunities to join this conversation. Each will be held from 6 p.m. to 7:30. So hopefully it will not be during a time where you have to be at work, and you can make this because I know a lot of people in our chat are advocates, if you will, for mental health, but also had a lot of questions and a lot of concerns surrounding this. So again, please, if you can make it, join this conversation because again, there's bags of plenty coming into the Douglas County, Omaha area, not just the 350 million that we've been looking at, but again, Douglas County has its own allotment of funds from ARPA that they're working with. So again, let's make sure that we keep our eyes on all of this and continue to follow the money.
Sounds like a plan. Let us know if anybody is able to go. We'll definitely want to talk to you about how we can work that out. As a matter of fact, while we're on this subject, I've been talking to the person who's going to come and run with the Documenters program that's coming up here. So, if those of you don't know what the Documenters program is, it's a program out of Chicago. As a matter of fact, a black man started this program out of Chicago, and it's picked up a lot of speed. And what they do is they raise funds in order to pay people to go and sit at some of these meetings and basically document what's being said and done there. It's kind of the very beginnings of a career in journalism, because you're actually journaling down, writing down what it is that the is being said at these meetings, so that you can come back and kind of make a little report and let other reporters know that are writing stories like what was said at these meetings. There was somebody who I think it was Kimmer Snipes had asked, are they going to be sitting at the school board? I did talk to the lady who is going to be running that program. She says, yes, we can talk about putting somebody at the school board meetings for sure. But we got a lot of meetings and hearings and things coming up right now where we definitely need some people. If you're interested in you're interested in going anyway, you might as well connect with the Documenters program and get paid to go. Right. And definitely do that. And then we're on the front side of trying to make that happen. So is the Reader, Pioneer Publishing, the Reader, El Perico. They're actually helping to bring this program to Omaha. And so, we're all doing this so that we can get those kind of reports back. We can understand what happened at these meetings. We can't always make these meetings, and we can't expect everybody who, all the chat chimers always make them. We all grown, got jobs, so sometimes we can't make it. But if you if you do have a ability to be able to take some time to go to these meetings, and you're inclined to do that, talk to us, because we'll connect you with the Documenters program and definitely get you out there to find out what's being said, what's going on. So, this is one of them times too, man. I'm wishing that I can go to all of it. I can't hit none of it right now, but I'm wishing that I can hit this, because we've been talking about this for a long time. Like, there's several hearings going on right now that I wish we can be a part of a little bit more. So, if anybody in the chat, any of the regular chat chimers go, let us know. We'll try to support that.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know, and especially looking forward to the Documenters program getting ramped up, just moving forward, and we can use them, as Paul said, in many ways, and looking forward to just how that changes how we talk and how we cover these hearings. So Again, if you can make it, let us know. We'll try to get some money in your pocket because there's plenty of hearings to go to, man. Not just that, but they are continuing and gearing up for their public hearings on the $335 million set from the Recovery Act, also known as the Economic Recovery Act, LB 1024. Again, $335 million earmarked for North and South Omaha, as well as low-income communities in both Lincoln and rural Nebraska. So it will be spread out, but hopefully it will make the impact that Senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney are hoping and planning for.
Who?
State Senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney. Put some respect on their name.
Say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
Or a pimp named Slipback. So yeah. Again, 80 million of that has already been set aside. That is planned for the industrial park that they will see or they are eyeing to build next to the airport. And then also 20 million has been set aside for affordable housing in Omaha specifically.
What's that? What does that mean?
Yeah, right. So again, what they will be hearing and listening out for is ideas on how to spend the remaining money. Again, $335 million total and possibly more coming into the area. Of course, Olsen, we've been kind of curious about what role they are playing in all of this. And again, they will be the engineering firm who's basically checking the viability of these projects, these ideas, and also looking at their generational impact, which is quite interesting. But that is what we're looking for, man. We're not looking for a drop in the bucket. We're not looking for a moment. We're looking for a movement, some ideas that can really change the game, change the landscape of North Omaha. So again, the first meeting is coming up Monday at 11 a.m. That's at Metro Community College, South Omaha campus, room 120, same room that will be used for the Douglas County Board of Commissioners hearing. Also, Tuesday at 5 p.m. At Metro Community College, South Omaha campus, again at room 120. So the same area, both on Monday and Tuesday. And also Wednesday, I will be at the Omaha Public Schools Tech Building. That's a 3215 Cummings Street. And then also the following Thursday at Metropolitan Community College, Fort Omaha campus at the Swanson Conference Center. So again, we have 4 opportunities coming up within the next week to really tap in, have your voice be heard, present your ideas. And I'm kind of worried, or not necessarily worried, but curious. Does anyone have any ideas? Where were we thinking? I'm definitely hoping that Terrell McKinney, Senator Terrell McKinney, put some respect on his name, gets his innovation hub that he's been proposing for. Yeah. I think that's really going to have a huge impact in our community. We've kind of seen some of the work, some of the impact that an innovation hub and business service can have with, Julian Young and what he's done with his business service and some of the businesses that have come out of that, some of the successful businesses that have come out of that, most namely Mixins. I believe Trishana went through Julian, or Julian has some play in what Mixins is doing, and Trishana's down here in Atlanta, interviewing Rick Ross and things like that. Like, she's out of here. So you can have success business wise in Omaha. You just need the support. You need the resources, and hopefully that innovation hub will do that and more. So again, any other ideas?
Yep. Any ideas? Let's throw them out there. I know we've been talking about this for a while, so let's keep up with those ideas. We have the senators on every once in a while. We can talk to them about some of those ideas, and of course, you can directly contact them as well. Brother Senator Justin Wayne, puts respect on his name, always throws his number out saying, "Call me directly," and let's talk about some of these things. But the best bet is to definitely go to these meetings and speak up in front of everybody with that. We'll go ahead and put this, if you see this graphic here on the Friends of First Sky Omaha, grab it and have the dates handy so that you can make sure that you're there. And like I said, we'll try to do our best to support the times that we can't make it. If anybody in the chat chimers can go, that would really be great too. Moving on, jumping in the chat real quick. Pops is talking about the Documenters program, saying that program sounds great for seniors. They're definitely trying to talk to seniors. They're talking to young folks as well, people that have a little bit more time during the day, during the week, to be able to go to some of these things, or have different schedules, I should say, during the week to be able to go to some of these things. Yeah, great program. Also, Medicine Song says, I'm interested in possibly some in my organization. Her organization is called Stand In for Nebraska. She wants to talk about that, and she may have some volunteers to be able to hook up with that as well. They're
Okay.
definitely looking for they're looking for about 12 people to join this documenters program. So there's some room there for sure. We got a good morning, First Sky family from Precious McKesson. Glad that you're back in town. Appreciate you chiming in this morning as well. Can't wait to talk to you on Wednesday. Also, Rome's reviews. He's giving us a little bit of information. You put out there earlier asking Mayor Sanchez about the train situation, and he's
Mm-hmm.
trickling in some data here in between his job. I know he's at work right now. He says the train man have a point system for absences. If they miss too many days, they can be fired. Also, down further, he says the problem with them is they are on call 24 hours a day, being short staffed these days. And they are being forced to cover more shifts, leaves no time off, but when they do, they can be fired. So, man, it sounds like a pretty strict, crazy situation down there that we're getting some firsthand information. Mayor Sanchez has been working for the train for 14 years. So a long time in the company and understanding what the culture is. And it sounds like you've been on your P's and Q's just to last that long there. Because
Man.
no, I'd be fired in 2 weeks over a couple of late times and
Yeah. Paul will
I'm
be out of here. Paul will be out of here.
trying to get a free ride to Kansas City on one of the trains and all kinds of stuff I've been doing. I've been out of there.
Man,
But
and I've always been told and heard that working for the railroad, like that's good money, that's a good job, but that sounds like a recipe for a strike to me.
hey, one of my first experiences in Omaha was meeting some people that work for the railroad. They were like, "This is the most stressful, worst job, racist job I ever had in my life."
Mm.
And I know several people that quit over some stuff. And there was even some stuff in the news, back 5, 6, 7 years ago about some practices that was going on at in Union Pacific. That was there was some leaked papers and all kinds of stuff that happened that was talking about the racist practices that they had over there and all that. So
Man, well, I'll tell you, one of my first jobs, one of my first like internships was at Union Pacific. Was in their like IT engineering department,
wow.
and I mean, no shade to the guys I was working with, but that was the job that made me decide, like, I do not want to be in a cubicle. I do not want to be in
Ooh.
the office. I do not like take me outside. Take me outside.
You can catch me outside. I ain't doing
Man. Yeah. So definitely appreciate you for answering that question, brother Sanchez. And yeah, more. Actually, my mom's neighbor is a railroad worker. So yeah, more power to all the trainmen.
for sure. Kimber Snipes says, "Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. I can't wait to hear about your training last few days. Definitely want to talk to you about some things, and we got a story coming up too. Hang around if you can, because we're definitely going to be talking about that 50 million that they're talking about in the Southside Terrace neighborhood that they're
It's
trying to
actually up
drop.
next.
Up next, cool, that'll work. Miss Erica Felt says that the point system gave me West telemarketing flashbacks.
Ooh, I worked at West.
Hey, bro, even I worked at West. Everybody. I came out here at 25 years old and took a job at West. I was just talking to a friend last night, as a matter of fact, about how everybody has had their stint with telemarketing. If you lived in Omaha any amount of time in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, you had your little stint at like West, and they tripped me out because it's the first time I ever heard of a way of doing business where you can get fired and rehired like in 2 weeks. Like, well,
Yeah.
you're fired. So make sure that you apply again in 2 weeks. Mr. Eric Fell says, I got fired and rehired at West 3 times. I did too. Like three
Man,
times. I was only there for like 6 months and got fired and rehired 3 times. So that's what it is. Kimber Snipe says, I also worked at West and got fired from West. Everybody, man, is what it is. So it's real funny. Preston McKesson says, Sitel, West, Idleman. I got fired from all three and went back.
dang.
Hey, I never heard of it. Carolyn Jackson said, "Good morning, Sitel, Idleman, First Data." She
Oh
crying.
man, so we all dang.
It's a story,
We all
bro.
been there.
I've been around the world. I've never seen a formula that Omaha has for that thing. Like you can. There's some. It's almost like because the turnaround is so great. It's easy to like be on the phone talking to somebody. They say something crazy. You say something crazy back, and now you're fired because you got to be. But
That's
at the
it.
same time, they got so many people that got to come through there that they've come up with a solution, a business solution, a way of doing business where they will rehire you after a certain amount of time, and you start over. And it's a trip. It's a trip.
It's
Kimber
almost like
says,
you're shoo-in to get rehired because you worked there before.
Almost. Well, you got experience. You were just here 2 weeks ago. Stacey G says, "Yeah, I work for West part time. I got a new vehicle so I can get my tags." Yeah, that's what we were doing. We were like, I was in Omaha at 25, and we were like, and I was like, I need to get back to California. I ain't got no money. Let me go work at West here for a minute. And literally, I was there for 30 days. I got fired 3 times within that 30 days and came back.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a trip. Kimmer Stein says, "Need a West Alumni Association." If we had a West Alumni Association, it'd be huge. That's
It would.
everybody. Just about everybody worked at West. That's funny. Carolyn Jack says, "Wait, Omaha Steaks too. Your eligibility resets. It's a trip, dude. I be trying to tell people in other states like, nah, you don't understand. Like it's different. They got a system here where you can get fired and come back on like in 2 weeks. It's a trip." Miss Erica Feld talking about she said Precious, yep, except Idleman called the police on me. I was so young and broke and still reapplied but didn't get rehired at that one. So I guess they have a
Dang.
limit. They got to call the police on you, then I guess you can't come back at that point.
Yeah. My cousin had a similar situation at West. Yeah.
Creature said Timberline Total Solutions and Convergence. Boom. Okay. So I mean,
There you go.
it's a culture here. It's a trip. We got our special guest coming up here pretty soon, so I definitely want to move it along. We got a lot of stories today. 7:36 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, Buddy, do you want to jump into the next story real quick before we start?
Yes. Especially while we have Sister Snipes in the building, we'd
Yes,
definitely
sir.
love to hear your thoughts on this. Again, continue to follow the money here on season 4. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, bags of plenty, more.
Bags on bags.
Man, more money coming into the Omaha area. This time coming from the U.S. Housing and Urban Development's Choice Neighborhood Grant. $50 million will be going to the Southside Terrace, and this will go towards their plans for. Actual several plans for this money has actually taken years to decide. Some plans include mixed use, mixed income housing, community safety, economic mobility, and more. Marcos Mora, who's a board member for the Latino Economic Development Council, chimed up on this award. Says, South Omaha has always had a history, and my family has been here since 1925. Historically, it's been an immigrant pathway to Omaha and moving around, but I think seeing this new development here, families like any family want to see a better future. They want to see a new infrastructure, new business. I think we're always trying to make our family life better, and I think as that comes, our families will welcome it, embrace it. So hopefully this will go towards that. And also John Lewis, who I believe is a resident in that area, says, well, that will probably be a good idea around here, a redevelopment of it all, tear it all down, rebuild it into something better. And yeah, it's a good idea. And I'll have to agree with Brother Lewis on that. Yeah, it's a good idea on the surface. But as we've seen with the North Omaha projects, what happens with the residents? It's a good idea until you see displacement happening. It's a good idea until prices go up and people can't really afford to move back in.
Yep. We still are trying to find out what happened to the people that got displaced with 75 North. Some of the other projects that's been around North, that's been the question. Like, let us know what happened there, because it's always in the plan that the people that were going to get displaced were going to have first dibs on the places that are being built there. But we don't know if that's the case. Doesn't sound like it. What happens to those people while they're waiting for that stuff to get built? They have to move to different parts of the city. So I've never seen a situation where there was any successful, housing of the people that were there before. And it's always, and then we've been reporting about outside entities that come in and build apartment complexes that are their whole model is to raise the rents in order to be able to pay for that, and to bring different, what they call different classes, quote unquote, of people in to be able to pay market rate, and that's a real problem, on several different levels. But yeah, so here we are again with that situation. It might be a good idea, and like I said, I want Miss Kimber Snipes to speak on that. If you want to wait till Wednesday, cool. If you want to chime up now, we'd love to hear from you. But definitely want to hear about the area. You know more about that area than we do, and is it a good thing? to be tearing this
Yeah.
stuff down and trying to rebuild stuff. What is it going to mean for those neighborhoods? Kimra Snipes, if you don't know, is all about the neighborhood associations over there, is running those neighborhood associations there in South, and that's part of the territory there. So let us know, what the neighbors are saying, what people are saying about this situation that's happening here. Infusion of $50 million can sound great. It could work, but this is why I said maybe you want to. I know you have a lot to say, so maybe you want to wait till Wednesday. She says I got so much to say about the Southside demolition. We'll talk Wednesday. So
Okay. Okay. We'll save it for then and put a pin in it. But definitely looking forward to hearing what you have to say. But I did want to shout out to frequent chat chimer and friend of First Sky, Brother Vaughn Chapman, for dropping this other story that's connected in our chat, or in Friends of First Sky. And Pops kind of alluded to this earlier, talking about seniors and how the documentaries program would be good for seniors. This is something I experienced firsthand, was trying to help my wife's grandmother find housing a couple years ago. And again, her social security check is only about $1,000 a month. It's not much. And we're talking about these developments where it's almost a foregone conclusion that the rent's going to go up. And there's actually an article from NPR looking at a situation out in Charlotte, North Carolina, where some elders who are receiving about $750 a month from the federal government, they're being outpaced. Their social security check is not keeping up with the rate at which rent is going up, and they're finding themselves homeless. And could definitely be a situation that we see here in the Omaha area. And that's just due to, again, development.
wow.
All of this rampant development in the area. Have already talked about some of the astronomical prices that we're seeing on housing. And if you're an elder who is only receiving $1,000, can't really work, what do you do?
It's a good question. I know a lot of people in our community that had to survive this over the course of years. Found ways, moving back in with family, all kinds of things to be able to survive it. But because this is not a new thing for certain communities, for sure. But so that's what I look to. I always look to the most underserved communities. What are they doing for solutions? If you want to find out about solutions for being able to take care of things as needed be, look there first, and then hopefully you'll kind of figure out what's going on in order to solve this problem. But at first you gotta be able to take care of what you got to take care of first. So it's a good question. What do you do? I'll definitely put it to the chat. What are some of the solutions that you've seen happen over the years for people that are getting outpaced with rents when they got fixed incomes, for sure. What is I always find it a teachable moment to certain communities to find out what other communities are doing. What do you guys do with your elderly population? What is it that you plan on doing? What can you do? What do certain cultures do? There's a lot of questions that can be answered there, but at the same time, the general problem does have to do with being able to have people have enough money to be able to just survive. Especially like where they're at. It doesn't make any sense to be getting kicked out of your home at that point, at that age, because you're getting outpaced by the rent, by the market. Like that's really crazy.
Yeah. One solution that is being proposed.
Yeah, you're low again.
Yeah.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Check.
Yep.
Yeah, this is. But one solution that is being proposed is President Biden and Vice President Harris actually did write a letter last year, April of last year, to more than 40 lawmakers lobbying to raise cash benefits. And now a bipartisan group of legislators are proposing the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act, which would raise the asset limit for recipients from $2,000 to $10,000 for individuals, and from $3,000 to $20,000 for couples. So kind of boosting that cap can go, can go towards that. But again, just pay a livable wage so people don't really have to deal with Social Security, and people can save up their own money and just be able to live on their own.
And not to veer off too far into this talk, on a side talk about Social Security, but like right now everybody's lucky to have it. It's always a threat of Social Security going away. the way they've been utilizing some of the money and stuff like that. There's a lot, there's a lot going on all the time. And not to mention, people that work certain kinds of ways that don't really get to put a lot into Social Security for whatever reason. So I was guys got some advice from Pops one time that was like, if you can do it now, put a little more in. If you put a little more in now, you get a little bit more out later when you can, when you have to retire and you have to live off of that check. It's the difference between your check being $700 and $2,000. Like, which one would you rather have? Go ahead and do something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot there. Miss Erica Felt in the chat says in other cities they move into relatives ADU, which aren't quite legal here in most Omaha. ADU, accessory dwelling unit. Okay, there's have been recent hearings about it, and I encourage everyone to pay attention and speak up. Okay, put it on the radar there. ADUs, accessory dwelling units, not quite legal here in most of Omaha. I wonder what those are. Okay, I have to do some research on that. I appreciate you bringing that up. Put it on the radar.
It says an accessory dwelling unit, usually just called an ADU, is a secondary housing unit on a single-family residential lot. The term accessory dwelling unit is an institutional sounding name, but it's most commonly used term across the country to describe this type of housing. While the full name is a mouthful, the short ADU is better. So it's like kind of imagine like a maid's quarter behind the house, or
Right.
if the garage has an upstairs, that type of deal.
Kimber Snipes says I have an ADU next door to me. Okay. So they exist. They're out there. There's just this one solution. We'll come back to this. Actually, we have a special guest coming on. She's waiting in the wings. We're going to bring her on. But thanks for all the comments on this. Please keep them coming. Let's talk about what we can do to circumvent some of this, and what do we do? What's the solution for our elderly population, especially when they need some assistance? Like, what are some of the ideas we can do? What can we do to help? And what are certain communities already doing? I'd love to know that. So appreciate
Also,
that.
just gonna say, also we will be rounding back around to Social Security and welfare a little later on in the show.
That'll work. In the meantime, between time, let's bring our special guest in the house. Buddy, would you like to do the honors?
Yes. We have Miss Tamika. Is it Tamika Meese or Tamika Renee?
Tamika Meese.
Meese. Okay.
Yes.
We have Miss Tamika Meese, again, who's a founder of the North Omaha Community Partnership, Boots on the Roots, front lines doing the work. She was also the organizer and a part of bringing us the state of emergency town hall meeting that I attended this past Sunday. So definitely thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you reaching out too. I'm glad you listened to the show and I heard us talking about that, and you know what we do. We always want to hear from people that were there, firsthand information, and you reached out and let us know that you were there and wanted to talk about that. So I really appreciate that. So can you tell me? I don't know too much about your organization. Can you tell me a little bit about your organization, what you do?
North Omaha Community Partnership was founded a little over 3 years ago. We've only been nonprofit 501c3 status for about a year now. But no, we've been doing frontline work myself individually. Now I have a team of people with me, but I've been doing this work for just about 20 years now. And so, we specialize in just being a community-based organization. We promote crime prevention, conflict resolution, suicide prevention, and crisis intervention.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the way that we, reach our people, you may hear about us doing a lot of events, a lot of fun family events. So we're intentional behind that because we bring our people together outside of something happening bad, And so we bring our people together in a safe space where they can bring their children, bring the whole family. And at the same time, we have resources for them while they're there. We never want our people to feel like they're asking for a handout. Like they have to, go through a bunch of red tape and sign up for a bunch of things. We just have whatever resources that we offer, we have it there. We always like to collaborate with other organizations that are out here doing the work. So we always extend that invitation to other community organizations to be a part of our events, to offer their resources. Or just to be a part of it, to engage with the community. And that's our biggest impact, is the community engagement. So once we have the community engagement, we're building trust. And so that's how we're able to implement the conflict resolution, the crisis intervention, and work with our young people and work with their families, because they already know who we are. So it's like the community knows who we are, but it seems like, there's other, organizations out there who haven't quite heard of us, but they'll get to know us.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I appreciate you giving me let us know. I have heard of the organization and didn't really know exactly what the organization did completely that way. So glad to meet you and glad to hear more about that. So, Buddy, I can see. Are you having some issues? First of all, are you having any tech issues on your side over there? I'm having some situations going on here. Everything smooth on your side over there? Your mic is down again, though. Sorry, Tamika. We are always struggling with tech issues here. So give us a second.
Does that answer your question? Is that?
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm here. Other than that, I'm here.
Okay. So again, are you having any kind of choppy issues there? Let us know if you're seeing that on your end. I'm seeing it on mine, Buddy. Are you seeing it on yours at all?
No, as far as the choppiness, there might be a slight delay on Tamika's side, but I'm pretty sure that's an internet thing. We already had that conversation.
Definitely internet thing for sure. Yep. So okay, cool. We'll just continue on then, as long as I can stay on this. I guess we'll see what's happening.
Let us know in the chat. Is the tech how are we looking? How are we looking?
Thank you very much. Any questions for Tamika? I know that you got excited about hearing her name come on. Like she's been doing in the streets doing the work. So I'm learning right now.
Oh yeah. Well, again, the name kind of threw me off. The Tamika Renee, I mostly see her as Tamika Meese and articles and things like that. But I did speak to Sister Tamika during the town hall, and thank her for throwing it and putting it together. But I did have a few questions. One, as far as the events that you do, I know you mentioned that night you still doing the Sunday night events. Are you also a part of the Friday night movie nights at the Bryant Center?
Yeah, so we all work as a team. So, of course, you have Sherman Wells, that is head of Untamed. We've partnered to support his programming at the Bryant Center. And then with the Friday nights, that was in collaboration with Island Chill. And we did that over the summer. That has since ended, but we will pick that up again next year.
Okay. And so at these events, and I've definitely just shout out in doing those events, because that's definitely something that the community needs. These especially the youth, they need something to do. There's not a lot to do, especially for the youth in Omaha, and that was addressed at the town hall meeting. But also while they're doing that, while they're having something to do, I definitely appreciate that you're offering resources. I was kind of curious, what are some of those resources that you were able to offer, and what are some resources that you aren't able to offer that the people say that they need?
We're able to offer food assistance. We're also able to offer crisis assistance. Let's say, you have a shutoff notice and you've reached out to other organizations and they're funding. We assist with that. We also assist with household cleaning supplies. That's another big one. I do that throughout the week. I get inboxes all the time. And Buddy, I know you were a part of what we were doing during COVID. And at that time, when COVID first hit, we were doing the supply giveaways with the toilet paper and the household cleaning supplies and laundry detergent and such. We were doing that from the Matoya Event Center. And so we've continued doing that. We still get the inboxes for that. And we also do like during school, back to school, where we had the community fun day, and we gave out ended up doing over 1,500 book bags filled with school supplies. Before that initial event, we ended up giving out 960 book bags at that event. And at the end of the day, we had about 40 bags left over. We started out with 1,000 on that day. With parents reaching out from that, we were able to assist some families with school shoes and, essentials like socks, underwear, T-shirts for their kids.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's Erica Fell saying, how can we support? How can people get involved?
You can get involved. Well, we're headquartered right now at the Bryant Center. We are there every Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. So to get involved, you can come there. You can volunteer. We put our events out, through our Facebook page, North Omaha Community Partnership, or through my personal Facebook page, Tamika Renee. You can inbox me through our organization's page. We are working on our website right now, which is northomahacp.org. So by this weekend, you'll be able to access the website and, donate or volunteer there. Also, a major thing I want to mention, we did launch our Bridge the Gap mental health program, and that's what's been keeping me super, super busy, me and my team. That is a crisis and grief therapy program where our participants are able to see a therapist within 24 hours for crisis. And, if it's regular therapy, they're still able to see a therapist within 48 hours. And that is at no cost to them. We don't have them go through any red tape. We just simply need their name and date of birth, and we get them connected with the therapist. We, follow up with them. And when they need something more long-term, we do that warm handoff with Charles Drew, One World. We partner with Capstone Behavioral Health. So we just offer that piece to help remove that stigma and help provide that accessibility to our community that needs that mental health service.
That's great.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was actually going to go there next. But Paul, did you have any questions?
Yeah, kind of just wanted to jump into the chat. We're getting a lot of people that are chiming up here a little bit more than usual. It looks like you're pretty popular with our group here. So, Pop says sounds like a wonderful organization. Kimber Snipes says good morning, and I'm sorry, I'm like I said, I'm having some technical difficulties here on my end. She says I found out Tamika and I are almost related. Yeah, I was thinking about. I got a whole bunch of almost cousins out here too. It's real funny. Wanda Lewis says, I think your organization is doing a great job helping with housing benefits, providing services to those who lost loved ones through violence, and working with the ACLU. So some good cosigns you got there for sure. Also, Christy North says, talent show at the Bryant Center this Sunday, 4 to 7. So I just been getting hipped, as a matter of fact, to what's been going on at the Bryant Center and all the organizations. You kind of just answered it for me, rounded it out. Everybody who has been a part of that, because we try our best on Friends of First Sky Omaha to post anything that's happening around those areas too. And this is really kind of making me understand that. I know that you wanted to get to talking about what the state of emergency meeting was about too, but and we're also getting I'm getting messages that we're getting a little some static coming on from your end as well, your mic as well. I was wondering if you could do us a favor and drop out and then drop back in. You still have the link to come back in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you can shut down and come back in, we'll see if we can knock this problem out real quick, because it seems to be a pretty. What is this? Did we get some? Is this our?
Did we just get spammed?
We got spam. We very rarely get spammed around here. Okay, that's what's up.
Okay, I'll leave out and come back in.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. So buddy, I'll let you go ahead and take that over. I'm sorry. We were just getting, there was just too much stuff going on there, and need to get this straightened out. So let's see if this helps. Okay. Let me see. Give us a little test on the microphone.
Okay. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little better. It's a little better.
Okay.
It works out better. Thank you so much for that. Sorry to have you do that. So, okay, cool. Everybody's hearing her fine. And looks like we're back in and making it happen now. So cool. I appreciate that. Von Chapman, one more question in the chat. Von Chapman says, will your organization be involved with the new mental facility proposed in North Omaha?
I don't have an answer to that. right now. I really don't. That's something that's new. We do work with the people that are involved with that, and just really, we're really just out here doing the work and really making a name for ourselves. And when you're new, we have so many nonprofit organizations in the North Omaha community alone, and so when you're new, you kind of got to show and prove. So I'm not sure, but whether that happens or it doesn't, we're going to continue to do the work that we do.
Word, I hear that.
Man, the chat just taking my job. I just won't ask any more questions. I'll let the chat just do it for me, man. Thanks, brother Von Chapman. That's definitely where I was gonna go, because I definitely see you doing the tangible things as far as toiletries and all the things, but also the intangible as far as mental health. And that's exactly where I wanted to go with this conversation. So big shout out to all the chat chimers and the co-hosts. So I would call you our co-host. But to that point, I did not necessarily your involvement with the facility, but just your thoughts on the facility. We've been talking about the approach of mental health. We all know that mental health is a need in the community. It is something that needs to be addressed. But how do you address that? Again, you say you're teaming people up with therapists. Which definitely, I've met with therapists. I'm an advocate for people meeting up with therapists. I'm not really a believer in the taboo that surrounds, therapy in our community. But it seems like some of these facilities is more geared towards beds, medication. That's just kind of the take that we're getting. And I'm curious to your thoughts about, all the facilities, not just the 50th and Grand, but Douglas County commissioners proposing another facility. In addition to the Juvenile Justice Center downtown, which is also going to have mental health. A lot of money is going into these facilities. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, I'm not in agreement with all the medication and the beds. And it seems like, mental health is trending. The words, the term is trending. And that's what it seems to be to me, is a trend. We need to really dig deep into it. So like with our organization, the people that we serve are predominantly African American. So we are intentional about providing or about our providers being African American, people of color, to work with, our families and our youth that can relate to, some of our cultural issues. And, most of them are from, the same neighborhoods of the people that, we serve. That is very intentional. I think we need to have that cultural awareness, and be aware of some of the traumas that we've gone through, some of the generational traumas that is basically a cycle and just continues. And, teach our participants how to unpack those traumas and deal with them, and not just, suppress them because they come out in other ways. And then as we, grow up and become parents, we transfer those traumas to our children. And then our children, develop new traumas, and the cycle just goes on and on. And the issues that we face in the community gets worse and, and worse. So I'm not big on, the medication piece. I'm not big on just throwing around the word. How are the mental health services going to actually help our people? That's what I'm interested in talking about. Like for instance, within the school system and the truancy issues that OPS are having, I feel they need to, look at it from a mental health standpoint, because we have a lot of, our kids that are impacted by, the crimes that are occurring within their age range, their peers. They're losing their peers, they're losing their loved ones. They go to school with, each end, the victim and, the person that, that did the shooting, that is definitely trauma. So after you lose a loved one, you go to the same school, you don't really want to return, or you're not quick to return, or it may be some days you can handle it, some days you can't. They may have developed PTSD, let's address that. Let's not just look at, okay, they're missing school, they're missing days of school, so we need to punish them and put them through the system, and then say, oh, well, it's just their juvenile record, and once they turn 19, we'll seal it. Nope, that's not the case. And I can speak to that because I'm a parent that have experienced that with my child. My son, I'm really big on mental health because the way it has impacted my family. My children have 2 siblings that passed away by suicide. As soon as my stepdaughter turned 18, she died by suicide. That definitely impacted, all of our children. And my son, who was closest in age to her, so he had issues with showing up at school. And in that same year, he lost his first cousin who he went to work with. They looked alike. And when he returned to school, a week later, everyone, oh, you look just like little Gary and you remind me so much of little Gary. That did so much to him mentally. He stopped going to school. I tried to get him transferred to Northwest. They said, no, we're not going to take him. So my son ended up dropping out of school, is working on his GED. And actually the very next year, that happened in 2019, 2020, the pandemic hits. And July of 2020, our oldest son died by suicide. That was a major impact. And so, with my teenage son, he's only 19 now. He turned 19 this year. So, all of that, dealing with the grieving, dealing with, the depression of it, dealing with the PTSD, and all of these things are documented when we go to court for truancy. It's all documented. And he's still punished as if he's a criminal. And now that he's 19 and that's supposed to be sealed and we went through the proper orders, his car breaks down on 168th right before you get to Blondo. And, in that area, they're calling the police fast. They see this big black guy whose car is disabled. I pull up, the officer is being rude. She runs his information and comes back and tells me he has a bit of a past, doesn't he? My son isn't in the streets. My son has never been in the gangs. We live out here in West Omaha, and that's where he's been all of his life. What do you mean he has a past? And she proceeds to tell me about his truancy, And so that is a major issue. What are we going to do with the information that we have about mental health and how it affects our young people, how it affects us as a whole, and apply that to law enforcement and social justice? That's my main thing. And that needs to be done. And if we're not doing that work and incorporating that information and those facts into juvenile justice, social justice, into our educational system, then we are still losing.
Man,
and that's what I'm combating against.
That's a lot. And we definitely appreciate you for, going through that trauma and using that to do the work. I mean, condolences. I did not know that part of your story. So definitely condolences goes out to you and your family. And that kind of brought my mind around to how, this whole mental health situation, like you said, I get that same sense that it's being used as a fad. It is a fad. It is a trend just to kind of direct some of these monies into certain pockets. That's coming into the area. And I do want to really later on get your take on the state of emergency meeting. But one of the takeaways for me was when Sheriff Hudson mentioned that he did not want and urged everyone to put pressure on the Douglas County Commission to not actually invest and build another facility, but to pay for other programs and things like that. And that brought my mind into the whole formal versus informal. And the real issue with these facilities, it is a very formal setting. When you have children that's dealing with depression, dealing with PTSD, the formal setting doesn't always work. No. You almost need an informal setting for them to open up, which I feel like is what you're doing more. So I put on the table that I personally would like to see Douglas County Commission, rather than building another building, more beds, put some money in the pockets of these organizations. Support these organizations that's actually on the front lines doing the work. And you might not be able to get the qualitative data from them going to the funeral and talking to these kids directly, but that's what's needed,
Right.
and you need to support that. So
Let's take a quick moment just to acknowledge. I really am getting hit hard by your story. I appreciate you opening up and sharing that with us. It's really nothing that we can even say, but that it's super compelling. It's something that I feel like I see where the motivation for your work comes from, and that makes me really want to get behind what it is that you're doing there. Just to let people know, if you believe in the concept of time, it's 10 minutes after 8. You're in the second hour now of First Sky Omaha in the morning. And we're talking to Tamika Renee right now. And we brought her on because she wanted to talk a little bit about the state of emergency meeting that just happened. But I'm so glad that we had you on to learn more about your organization, learn more about you, and a person who's doing a lot of good work in this community. You're getting co-signed by our chat chimers. Everybody in here is just singing your praises, and I'm personally really glad to meet you and glad to hear about
Thank
what's
you.
going on. And the situation here with this truancy thing, unbelievable. As a matter of fact, in the chat a little earlier, I think Kimmer Snipes asked, the police pulled up his school truancy record.
Yeah.
That was my reaction. Like, are you kidding me? The
man,
police,
Yeah.
the police would pull that up.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is unbelievable. And I mean, she was so, she kept saying, I'm having the vehicle towed. And I'm like, look, Walmart is right here down the street. I'm gonna go buy him a new battery and we're gonna put it in. And she got really upset with me because I was very protective of my son, and I had my son return to the vehicle with his children. And she got really irritated with that, and so she asked for my information. And I said, okay, go check on me. And she came back with a different tune. I don't know who she spoke with, but she came back with a different tune, to the point that at the end of all of this, she did call off the tow truck. And while I drove my son's car in neutral, I looked to the back and she's actually helping my son push the car for us to push it off the side of the road. So I don't know who she spoke with, but I know a lot of law enforcement know my name and know that the work that I do, and know that I hold OPD fully accountable. We have a respectable relationship, but that relationship, top of the line, is accountability. And so I don't know who she spoke with, but she did change her tune 5 minutes later after she returned from her vehicle. So,
Wow.
but not everyone is that fortunate.
because they know you'll speak up. That's just plain and simple what it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't even think it's out of respect for your work, which it should be, but I don't think it's that. I think it's they knew they couldn't get away with treating a person like that in that situation, so they changed up, and that's just what it is. And that kind of has me hot, because that's making me think more about these situations as far as who will get helped in all of these facilities that they're building. You have to go through the juvenile justice system in order to even get that service. Like, you have to be a criminal, have to have something on your record to get that service. And how many youths out there who don't have a criminal record, who are still dealing with PTSD and still need these services? So
Right.
how many people are going to fall through the cracks?
Right.
A lot of questions there. And there's also, and to add to that question, Kimmer Snipes is saying, what other information are they sharing? Me, definitely something to look into in a big way. But before we let you get out of here, we got a few more minutes left with you. We definitely want to get to what you wanted to come on here and talk about in the first place. We're sorry that we commandeered the whole talk here with you.
It's okay. I can extend my time just a little bit. It's okay.
Okay. Appreciate that. If we get a few more minutes, if you can give us what it is you wanted to talk about with the State of the Union meeting there.
So with the town hall meeting that we had, we just felt like we needed to do something. I personally felt like I needed to hear from my people. I needed to hear from my community, because I felt like the community wasn't being told the truth, in the media. And I actually did address that with the police chief. I felt like it's not always safe to keep the blinders over the public, especially, a few weeks before it was actually 2 weeks before the murder of Alon Reed. I had spoke with the police chief about what is being presented to the public as far as the numbers comparing last year to this year, and I felt like nothing that they have done or other organizations have done that spoke up about the numbers as well had any impact, because it's simply, if a beef gets going and there's no intervention, it's going to keep going and it's going to escalate. And then once one murder or shooting happens, it causes a domino effect.
Right.
And then the shootings are going to increase, the murders are going to increase. So I didn't feel like there was any program that was preventing that from happening. It's just that we were a little bit lucky that time of year last year that there wasn't any major beef. And so this year, it was, like I said, it was like a domino effect, and they were after each other. And some of these young people were once friends, and it just, a beef sparked within that friendship. And quite honestly, all hell broke loose. We wanted to address that with the public. We wanted to hear from the public, hear their thoughts. We wanted to hear from the parents. We're dealing with, just in the past 2 years, I'm noticing a shift with our young people and, their mentality, how they're thinking, their hopeless state, being in the rooms in these spaces with especially the young men. I am hearing I might be next. And so they're just like preparing themselves that I may not live to see this age. I may not be here in the next year. And if they come for me, I'm going to get as many as I can before they get me. And then you have some that fall under the influence of some of the young ladies, with this mentality that, you're not cool unless you have a body. It's cool to have a body to say you murder someone and that's how you get your clout. That's insane to us on the outside, but in their world, it makes sense, So we're combating that. We have to teach self-love, teach them to love themselves, number one, to know their worth so that they can have any type of regard for my life. But if they don't have regard for their own lives, they're not going to care about anyone else's. They just care about, I'm going to get you before you get me. And if you take one of mine, I'm gonna try to take 5 of yours out. And that's how it is. So we're combating that. And then parents are noticing the behavior changes with their children at younger ages. This stuff, is starting out really, you see the shift more at around 9 and 10 years old now, as opposed to when they hit their teenage years, So there's a shift that is affecting a younger generation now. And so we have to combat that. And my intentions was not to come up with answers at that town hall, but just for us to get that feedback. And it was very important for us to get the feedback without the media there. So we didn't invite the media there. We wanted to get that realness. We wanted it to be authentic and really hear from the people and their concerns, whether they expressed it with anger or what. And Buddy was there. We got a little cussed out, and that's okay. I can take the criticism because I take that back to the lab and I brainstorm, and then I brainstorm with my people, and we have to come up with something. But one thing that we have to change about our organizations that are out here doing the work is that we have to stop moving solo. We have to stop moving like we're gangs ourselves and refusing to work with each other. We have to have more collaboration because there are services that my organization doesn't offer, but U-Turn may offer. 360 may offer. Another organization may offer. We have to learn to communicate and respect and maintain that integrity amongst ourselves if we really want to reach our young people, if we really want to reach our community. Because our community sees the separation. I watch our show, quite a bit, and I even hear y'all talk about it. Where's the collaboration with all these organizations? And it's a lot more noticeable when it comes to events. You got this event going on down the street. You got this event down there going on at the same time on the same day, and it's surrounding the same things. Why can't we work together?
That's real. And
So
attracting the same group of people. The only
Right.
exactly,
Right. And it's not
exactly,
just the youth that see it, it's the funders that see it. Like,
right,
these foundations and these philanthropists, they see these organizations, and that's why we see organizations struggling to get funding, because they're all fighting for the same measly $20,000.
right,
I want
exactly.
I want to interject there. It's interesting the way that we got the information on this meeting. I'm noticing something about it. There's something to be said about black folks getting together and talking to black folks, and
Hmm.
and without the white gaze, without the white media,
Hmm.
and when I say gaze, I'm talking about the GAZE, not the GAYS.
Hmm.
The way that white folks will come and observe a thing definitely changes how it is that people need to speak. So there's something to be said about having a conversation within the family.
Right.
We got the information about this town hall in a way, and from certain people that told me, okay, yeah, this is one of those ones. We're going to be talking to each other here at this thing.
Hmm. Exactly.
Very glad that Buddy was able to make it. I'm very glad that you were there, and you being able to kind of honestly talk to us about like what happened and what you guys did with that information. Do you
Hmm.
think this is a thing that we need to be doing on a regular basis? Do you think it will help if we have these kinds of family talks this way regularly?
Yes, we actually are planning another one next month. And we're going to introduce, some plans and solutions. And from that, so with that town hall, we did invite other organizations to share the platform, come out, share their resources with the community. Every organization that you saw there, from UNMC to U-Turn, I personally invited them. I wanted to share that platform. And yes, we had designated speakers such as myself and Sherman and Chrome, Senator McKinney, but I wanted to share that platform and allow them to have something to say, so that the community knows what they're working on, what they're doing, and what resources they offer. We have to do more of that. Collaborating and working together. That went over well. So behind closed doors, we are working together. We are sitting down with, our fellow organizations doing the same work in the community and finding out exactly what it is that each of us do, how we support each other, and what's your input on what's going on in the community and what trends are you noticing, what shifts are taking place. We all have to put our heads together. We got to put our pride and egos to the side. If we are truly for the people, then let's put this work in for the people. I don't have time for clicks. I don't have time for, games, for personal views. If you don't like me and I don't like you, guess what? I can put that to the side, because I'm trying to save our community. So if you don't like me, guess what? I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. But I will respect you, because I demand my respect. So you're going to get my respect first and foremost. And if you're out here doing this work, I definitely respect that. And a lot of people on the outside looking in, like specifically with my team is what I can speak on. They look at, oh, they out here, doing this, they must get funded. Guess what? I'm just now about to get funded, and I ain't even received that check yet. So everything y'all see us doing is community funded, board funded, and I pay my tithes to my organization. I'm not attached to a church. So me and my husband, we pay our tithes to my organization. So it's funded by me, my tithes and offerings, my board members that believe in the vision. And all of us are 100% vested in our community, because we live there, we have families there, we have businesses there. And so what happens in our community, even if we move away, I don't live in North Omaha anymore, but my families are still there, businesses there, my people is there. So I cannot turn a blind eye. So after I finish my 9 to 5, I still work a 9 to 5. And after I finish my 9 to 5, I'm out here doing this work all weekend long. I'm out here doing this work. And that's everyone on my team that I can speak for. We are out here doing this work for free. Okay. And asking for money from these foundations. But because we're too new, we're being passed up, and they're investing in older, more seasoned organizations who have been out here for years. And I'm not talking about your U-turns and, your smaller organizations. I'm talking about your big organizations who basically capitalize off our struggle. Okay. They're continuing to get the major funding. I'm not trying to capitalize off our struggle, or even highlight that situation to get paid. I'm trying to bring our people up. What we do is rebuild, uplift, and empower. We start with the basic needs to build you up, so that you can reach that self-actualization. But you can't even think about reaching that self-actualization if you're worried about how you're going to pay your light bill, if you're worried about how you're going to eat, So we have to address those things first. And with that is mental health. You have to build your mind just like you go and work out in a gym to become healthy. You got to take care of that mind. And so those are some of the things that we are addressing with our organization. And I'm not in the business of reinventing the wheel. We don't have that type of time. So if there's an organization that's already out there doing something that I'm not doing, or I just thought about and they've been doing it, then let's link and let's help our people. And that's what I'm about. That's what that town hall was about. And that's what our meetings with these other organizations is about. Let's work together. And like I said, when I was there, get with us, work with us. Let's do this together or get out of my way. And that's period, point blank. Because I'm not doing this for no check. I'm doing this for my people. And
there you go. Period, point blank. Like you're saying, you can't top that. That's the final word. Let us know how we can get a hold of you and your organization. Let's put that in the chat. Okay. And see if we can get some collaboration going. We're all about the collaboration. We're never about the competition. There's no room for competition here. We're trying to uplift our people. So we appreciate it. You may not be everybody's cup of tea, but everybody's shot of whiskey because you're going to knock them out. So, let us know how to get a hold of you and your organization, and we'll definitely have you back and talk some more about all of these things.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely down for the cause. For sure. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Y'all take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah. In the words of Loaded Lux, you're going to get this work.
Woo! Tamika Renee just put it down in a real way. That's what's up.
Man.
Wow.
North Omaha Community Partnership, doing the real work, boots to the roots. And we all know the people who really, really do the work, they usually get overlooked. So definitely big shout out to her for actually, she reached out to us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, yeah, definitely shout out to her for reaching out to us, and glad that we were able to share our platform and get her on to share her story and her platform, man. So yeah, if you're interested in getting involved with that, please reach out.
What I love is that we're attracting organizations that are doing something. We want to talk these things out so we can all understand them, but we also want to do calls to action and get people moving on some stuff. Because it ain't just about sitting around talking about it, it's actually putting boots on the roots and getting out there and doing something. And so I love the fact that I'm learning more and more about individuals and organizations that are actually doing that. And there's a gap between ones that are getting, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, and ones that are just out here working. They ain't even got time to write that grant half the time because they're out here doing the thing. Wanda Lewis says mostly the organizations that do get funding, all I've seen them do is giving to candlelight vigils and doing TV interviews where there's a tragedy in the community. So
there you go.
There you go. Pops is already trying to recruit her. Says I think she could be on Women's Wednesday. Speaking of Women's Wednesday alumni, we have Precious McKesson, surprise, in the house. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm good.
Doing all right.
We missed you on Wednesday, so I appreciate you wanting to come on today. Impromptu jump on. We really appreciate that. Always good.
Yeah, better late than never.
No problem at all.
How was DC?
DC is DC still.
Yeah. Glad to be home.
I mean, I am. We go down and we do a lot of work, and it's a lot. It's a lot that you do for 1 week. It's like you're really literally moving from 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m. So wow. It's a lot. It's a lot to when the people at the hotel, when you walk in, they be like, "You just not coming in?" I'm like, dang, they've been there all day, and it's like I've been gone. So it's a lot of work, but I mean, overall, it's work that's needed to be done.
Definitely appreciate you putting in the work, but please, for us, make sure you take some time to take care of yourself, take some rest, recharge the batteries and things.
Definitely. I'm really trying to do that more.
It's important. That's self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup, but we definitely appreciate the work that you do. So yeah, what's on your mind? What's on your heart? What brings us this impromptu politicking with P?
So I just wanted to kind of just jump in because we have so much that's going on, and I say this because number one, we are in a critical state right now when it comes to getting these elections on the way. Like, we know what's going on nationally. We're seeing more. So I just say that Nebraska is not the only state that is seeing this. We're seeing it nationally. We're seeing the turn of red states, purple states, blue states. We're seeing all hands on deck. And so I just can't stress enough of why it's important to vote in this midterm election. I was talking to somebody the other day, a young person, and I literally had was just having a conversation in DC, and they didn't know what a midterm meant. They was like, "What is a midterm election?" And I'm like, "Well, it's the midterm of the big presidential. So this is the halfway mark." And so I think we need to start really doing a little bit more of educating. So today we are officially 53 days from the November 8th election, but we are 25 days from October 11th when you can start voting in person. You can start voting in person at the Douglas County Election Commission or your election commission office throughout the state, wherever you're located, starting on October 11th. On October 3rd, if you've already requested an early vote by mail ballot, those ballots will start getting mailed out on October 3rd. Once you get that ballot in the mail, you'll then fill it out, send it back in. So I just want to remind people also, we will be sending out voter guides. Those voter guides will go out to voters, Democratic voters, and some independent voters across the state. On the voter guide, it's wherever county you're in, it's going to be specific to your county where you're living, and it'll have a list of all the Democrats and independents who are running on the November 8th ballot. So it's kind of like your guide to who's running and everything. October 21st is the deadline for you to register to vote. That is your deadline. If you are not registered to vote, you have up until October 21st. I say don't wait until October 21st. If you're not registered to vote, if you've moved, done anything, you need to get that taken care of now. It is critical, critical, critical. And then your last day to request an early vote by mail ballot is October 28th. And so that needs to be into the Election Commission office if you want to vote by mail. Last thing is that we have 3 issues that will be on the ballot this coming November. The number one is voter ID, which is not considered voter ID, is voter suppression. And so we are really strongly telling everybody to vote against voter suppression. That bill is on there. That bill was funded by the Ricketts family. They put money into it to make sure that they got the signatures. I still feel that they collected signatures illegally. Those signatures were not valid. They need to we need to vote against that. That does not need to pass. So that is on the ballot. Minimum wage is on the ballot. That is a ballot to increase the minimum wage. Shout out to Senator McKinney. Put some respect on his name, him and Miss Nancy Williams, and another individual who sponsored that bill. That bill did collect enough signatures to be on the ballot. So we want to make sure that we are supporting that minimum wage. And then there's another constitutional amendment that will be on the bill. Is for the airport, and basically it increases. It's looking to increase the daily traffic, the daily flights that come into the airports across the state, and it can increase revenue. And that's LR 283CA. So you vote for that one. Again, that increases daily flights that come into not just Eppley, but into Lincoln, Grand Island, and Kearney. So we want to make sure that we're supporting that bill that was sponsored by Senator Elliott Bostar. So that is my 2 cents for this Good Friday. I just want to make sure people understand the importance. Kimra just dropped in there. September 20th is National Voter Registration Day. Let's make sure that we are getting people registered to vote, but not only registered to vote, let's make sure that we are educating them why the importance of them going to the polls on November 8th to vote. That is the critical piece. You can get millions and millions of people to vote, to register to vote, but if we don't get them to the polls, that voter registration just basically is a voter registration. Make that voter registration turn into an action, and turn into a number, and turn into a new body that is representing you in your community. So that is my 2 cents. I don't know if y'all got something for me, but that's my 2 cents. Is the mayor back here yet? Is Mayor Stothard back in Omaha? Is she back? Do anybody know?
Shots.
Pete Gustafson still our mayor?
Good question. Good question. Miss Erica Feld does have a question. She says, if we lost the postcard to confirm vote by mail, what should we do?
So in this case, you can contact them, or you can, I'll send you a link, Erica. I can send you a vote by mail request card, or you know what, matter of fact, I can drop it off to you this weekend. You can fill it out, give it back to me, and I'll send it over to the election commission office. Just inbox me and I'll drop it off to you. So I do actually need to get you something for you and your family. So please inbox me your address, and I want to make sure I bring something over to you, and I'll get it to you this weekend.
That's love. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what's up. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, impromptu, jumping on and letting us know some of these things. I can. When did the voter guides go out? I don't think you gave us a date on that. When is that happening?
So right now we sent over our list yesterday, and those be hitting the goal is to have those out in the mail next week. So I don't know. Sometimes people don't understand like what I do on a daily basis. They think, oh, she's just executive director. No, she's not just executive director. It's a lot of moving pieces to get to what we do. So we actually organize these voter cards, which are 93 counties. And we have 93 counties in the state. And so we have to contact every single election commission office to find out which election commissions, who are on the ballot. And so we have villages and different parts in like different cities and small towns that have trustees and village boards, townships, and all that stuff. So we have to go through every single county and make sure that every single person who is running for office is listed on there. From there, we then design the voter guide, and then we have to proofread all the voter guides, make sure that everybody's name is spelled correctly. Then we send it over to a printing shop to our designer who actually designed the layout. Then he sends back all 93, and we go through every single one. And then we send it over to a printer, which then they do the printing for us. But also we have to then compile those lists, and how we compile those lists, we go based off of who voted maybe early in 2020, who voted early in 2018. So we use like these different scorecards to find out what lists go out first, who is most likely to who requested a vote by mail and who voted early. That's how we determine that. So those will all start going out next week. So don't be alarmed if you don't start receiving one. We're doing these in 3 rounds. So our first round will be this one that's going out now. We'll have another round go out on September 28th, and then we'll have another round go out late October, closer to. So those might be some of the last minute people who requested vote by mail applications and stuff. So yes, so those vote guides are gold. I have senior citizens that call me. I have parents of families who call me like, where my voter guide at, Precious? If you need some now, I do actually have some that we're using as walk guides. So I mean, if you're like, hey, I need, my business needs some voter guides. If you're definitely supporting Democrats who are running, because we want to make sure that we are electing Democrats. I have to say that because that's what I do for a living. So definitely just let me know how you if I can drop some off and definitely get them to you. But I think I have Sarpy County, Douglas County, Lancaster and Hall County, and Saunders County. I have some for all those counties. So just know that we are doing the work. And yeah, actually, thanks for saying that, Rome. Rome asked about posting a picture. So we will have those voter guides digitally available. Hopefully they will be done today because of the constitutional, because of the ballot initiatives, we had to go back to the designer and we didn't know what the numbers were. So then last week, the Secretary of State gave us the numbers. And so after they give the numbers, if people don't know, they have to do a drawing of what the number is going to be for that actual ballot initiative and how it's going to be on. So who it goes on the ballot. Again, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So we went to the designer. He's now put them on there. We will hopefully have those, the digital version of all 93 counties. Hopefully, I will say by this weekend or early next week, and I will make sure I drop that link in the First Sky family, because then you can actually use it and upload it online.
Perfect.
There you go. There you go.
Again, thank you so much for that. Leia Keeser says yes. The people who are thus far are fired up. Who are canvassing thus far are fired up. People who never put up yard signs are putting them up. So everybody's feeling it. Is coming. The presence. We've tried to do what we can do to try to get the candidates on and kind of meet them. As a matter of fact, Tony Vargas is Camp just reached out again. He wants him to come back on, and we'll talk to him some more too. So we're definitely going to be in here for the next until the season is over for us. This is kind of Ballad of the Bullet time again. So we appreciate you coming on and getting us fired up on that, and we'll be putting stuff together here on First Sky Omaha just to kind of relay this information at all times. I'm thinking about doing a ticker across the bottom that talks about when the registration dates are and all that kind of stuff, and make sure it stays on people's heads.
We might need to.
It's the best thing to do, because right now, I mean, like I say, across the United States, we're seeing people in cities are mobilizing. They're mobilizing to get people out to vote, because this is very critical. Everything that has happened, I mean, with the IRA passing and the legislation passing on that, the CHIPS Act passing, all these different bills, we have people now saying that if they take over, if the Republicans take over, basically they're going to shut down everything. It's like the next 2 years we will have no passing of any type of legislation, because what they will then do is basically they'll stall us out the last 2 years of President Biden's this current administration. I should say this term. And so we want to make sure that we don't have any way that we have people that are stalling the work. And this is my thing. You say you're for the people, but every time we turn around, you're blocking things that's going to help the people be able to progress. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. Nothing's perfect in this world. We still got a lot of work to do, but we are making the steps of progress to where people are starting to see a little bit of change in their families. They're seeing a little bit more money in their pockets. They're starting to see, things, but we still got a lot of work to do. I'm not even going to say that. We have a lot of work to do. So definitely want to make sure that we're encouraging people to vote. And Leah asked a question. It will be on the NDP website. We'll make sure we post all those links and everything, and we'll post on social media when they're available.
Ladies and gentlemen, Precious McKesson, thanks for coming on in and helping us get a jump on this. We can't wait to talk to you some more on Women's Wednesday next Wednesday. You gonna be in town?
Yes, I will be here.
Busy.
I'm trying to think when I leave again. I think it's October, because I have new. So I still do my Neighborhood USA. So I still do the board. I'm still the board vice president of Neighborhood USA. So we'll have our upcoming meeting in El Paso, because that's where our next conference will be at. And so yes, I will. I think that's the only day I'm traveling. I think I'm traveling that Wednesday, but I have to see what time my flight leaves. I might still be able to make it on. But yes, okay. And then Wanda said, shout out to Pete Festerson. He did hold it down all while dealing with the death of his mother. And I'll just say, Pete Festerson is my councilman, and he's always been he's a great councilman. And shout out to those who are holding it down when the mayor decides to go out of town.
Yeah, she's cloud hopping for sure, but definitely condolences to the Festerson family.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know y'all seen some of the drama that's been on. I don't know if y'all seen. I don't know what y'all talked about. When did it happen?
We saw the drama. We didn't really get into all that. I don't want to give it too much energy, but yeah.
I'm not gonna give no energy, but all I'm gonna say is God knows how to reveal those. But
okay.
First, let me just say, I don't want to laugh about a situation that's serious, because domestic violence is very serious, because people have died because of domestic violence. What I will say is that you cannot be a person saying that you're here to serve and protect, and you're not serving and protecting your own family. That's all I'll say to that. So with that being
it's just crazy how this show has been rolling together.
Let's go ahead and let people in on the thing if they haven't heard.
Yeah. That's what I had up next. It's just crazy how this show has been coming together. Thank you, Precious, for that segue. Yeah, you right on point. No, you right on point. Thank you. We have been politicking with Pete, and we're going to let you know what's going on. Shout out to the dynamic duo, brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, for calling this out. But before we get into that, what Precious is referring to is Seeing Red Nebraska did call out and post that Omaha Police Union President Tony Connor did have 911 called on him, or called 911 to report a domestic violence disturbance on Tony, address removed to protect the wife and kids, of course. But yes, there was an incident where Omaha Police Union President Tony Connor had 911 called on him during a domestic violence incident, which is quite interesting because on that same token, Lincoln Police just removed one of their officers from service due to domestic abuse allegations. And I find it very interesting when we see the juxtaposition between how Lincoln is being ran versus how Omaha is being ran, because you have these Lincoln Police who just they pulled the guy. They pulled the officer as soon as the domestic violence allegations they were announced. They acted swiftly and they pulled this person. Now, to juxtapose to that, we have Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne calling out the Omaha Police Department for what's being called the Brady list, or the do not call list, which actually stems from a U.S. Supreme Court case back in 1963 that said prosecutors must share possible exculpatory evidence on officers with defense attorneys. Again, this do not call list is a list of officers who have questionable history, a questionable track record, have been involved in some unsavory things, if you will. And it's been now found out that Omaha police are actually hiring, or not necessarily hiring, but promoting people that are on this list. They're giving people on this list benefits, promoting them, rewarding them for not being the best at their job. And this all came out from the whole Kathy Bell Castro Gonzalez case that we've been talking about as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and y'all know I'm gonna give my disclaimer, because y'all know I always say this. Y'all know my disclaimer. There are some good police officers, and I'm very much in support of those good police officers. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And when you have police officers who are being disciplined and who have disciplinary actions put against them, and they continue to be able to be promoted and things done and not be held accountable. Now, I remember having a conversation with Chief Schmatter in front of Tony Connor when we first had this incident when he was very disrespectful. And I remember the police chief telling me this, his exact words, I'll never forget. He said, there are police officers who will never make it. And not saying he gave specific names, because he did not, but he said, Precious, I agree with you. There's police officers who don't need to be on the streets, and there are police officers who will never make it out of, he said, he called it investigate or property rooms, so basically said admin duties, I should say. But I will say this, that what Kathy did, and I want to put something, as a woman, she stood up for what was right. And she stood up to them. And that is why the federal jury made a decision in her favor. We also have an issue when you have police officers who are fired from police departments and then are able to go and get jobs at other police departments. There was a situation I was just watching on, I think it was 2020. It's a small town in, I have to look it up. I think it was either Maryland or Connecticut, but it was a small town. And it was a police officer who had a disciplinary action in one and just literally went across to another town and ended up becoming the police chief.
Wow.
And they only had like maybe 3 or 4 police officers. So it's the thing is, we have to make sure that they are being held accountable. But then also there was a question that was asked of me when they when we had, Tony and I had another disagreement where he called me a Black Karen on Facebook, on Twitter, and basically did all his little hoopla. And I think he since deleted his page, but then he got mad because I blocked him, but he deleted his page. But again, that's a whole nother thing. If you can't stay in the kitchen, I guess it's too hot in the kitchen, but he can't take that, so he deleted. But there was a question asking was, why aren't the police department, why the Omaha Police Department reporting the domestic violence numbers in their data? And that's a question we have to ask, because everything should be reported. Nothing should be alleviated. Yeah. Report every single number, because domestic violence it's high. It's really high. If you look at Omaha Scanner, you're always seeing things. I mean, you saw a situation in California with domestic violence where the gentleman beheaded the mother of his children in front of his children in California in the middle of a street. Domestic violence is real. And we're not reporting these numbers. How are we knowing what is going on and what we have to be reporting numbers? So again, I don't condone, because it's not a laughing matter. It's a very serious matter. And no matter what position you're in, you need to be held accountable for that. And if it means that you need to be fired from your job, then you need to be fired from your job.
Kimmer Snipe said she sat in on some of these on some of those things, those hearings there that just happened, and she was talking about how much there was so much corruption in there. It's crazy. Me and Buddy were joking a little earlier, like, dude went ahead and did the whole cop cliche thing of him going home beating your wife situation. Like,
man,
like it's real ridiculous. I like what also what Wanda Lewis said in the chat. Some can't even be trusted in the property room because we got that harks back to that.
I want to.
Well, can I just can I make a correction real quick before you say that, buddy? I just want to say, and I always want to do this disclaimer because again, we're talking about a family, and I want to always be respectful to a wife and her children. We don't know what happened in that domestic violence, so I want to be fair. So I don't want to say that he went and beat his wife because we don't know those facts. So let's not. Right. I just want to always make sure that that's being clear.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, this is the kind of reason why we weren't really reporting this, because like it's a different kind of situation. It is relevant to a lot of things we talked about because of the fact that we've been talking about the problems that you and him been having, and we've been talking about just him in general as being this person. He's come up several times. When you were talking about the situation where cops get fired and then move to a different town and then get rehired. It actually happened here in Omaha where they got rehired back to the same police department after some incidents. And that's when Tosh Smarter became like on my radar. Like this cat fired these police officers and had to deal with the police association influencing them back onto the force after the incident.
But let's make sure we're talking. Let's make sure we know whenever the chief fires someone, an arbitrator comes in, and the arbitrator from the union can reverse. So it's not that the police chief has. I just want to make sure that's clear. The police chief does his part. Again, right. I know I gotta give the facts. I'm not saying that everything. I gotta give the facts, but that's how it happens. Once he fires them, the arbitrator from the union then can come in and reverse the decision based off of what the chief. Now that's where they then have to come in, when the city attorney comes in. And they have to appeal it to keep that fine. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Like, it's not that he's rehiring them. It's somebody that comes in.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said I said exactly what you're saying right now. That he did this, and then the police, the police union, and that there was stuff that influenced the people coming back on the force. Even after Schmatter had fired them. Like, I can't imagine being somebody's manager. You fire them, and they come back to work anyway. They're gonna listen to you after that.
Yes, and I'll say this: Wanda Lewis makes a great point, and I'll say this publicly. When Councilwoman Juanita Johnson had an issue, Joe Jordan was quick to air all her business out on the media. Joe Jordan, KETV, KMTV3. When they asked me for comment, I declined to comment because, number one, it had nothing to do with her job. This was something that was a personal matter. But the fact that we ain't heard a peep in the media. So where's Joe Jordan when you need him?
Yeah,
and I want to. And I said it because I've been on the other side of Joe Jordan's reporting, so I don't care. I'm gonna say it.
Well, I wanted to address the other comment that Sister Wanda Lewis made about some can't even be trusted in the property room, and just all of this that we're talking about. The fact is, the system is broken. When Chief Tosh Moderate can fire somebody and they get hired back through litigation and through that whole union process, it's very interesting when the union, like, we didn't want to talk about it this much, but it's very interesting. It is relevant when the union president himself gets wrapped up in the in domestic violence. And although we don't know the full details, it's another piece of the puzzle. We have to put it all together. And it's not good. I have to agree with Sister Snipes too, that Chief Schmatter, his hands aren't clean in all of this either. We see with this Bel Castro Gonzalez, he is one of the people elevating these bad officers. The system is broken, and we might need to clean house, because I'm looking at all the pieces. We got a union president who's now involved in domestic violence. We have a police chief who is now in court, has been found to discriminate against women, retaliate against women, and hire bad officers. We also have those bad officers on desk duty. You wonder why we have so many rape kits that haven't been processed. These people aren't good enough to be on even desk duty. We
And
need to clean house.
I'm thinking about that. There's the one that we reported on a while back about the people that were in the evidence room stealing stuff with their boyfriend and going and selling the drugs.
Oh, in Lincoln,
They can't even. They
Come
can't
on,
even.
man.
Yeah. Anyway,
All of this
Well,
can't be looked at in a vacuum.
would you say, buddy, we need some answers. That's what it is at this point. And yeah, I mean, it's sad, you know, the distrust that is now there. And yeah, you know.
we gonna get to some halves. We got about 6 minutes. Again.
So who gonna report on that?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right. Who gonna tell on the teller? 6 minutes left in the show, so we're gonna jump to the haps. It is Friday. We're getting ready to go. You guys, thank you so much for everybody. Look at everybody just coming on in with these comments. That's what's up. We'll definitely pick this conversation up and talk a little bit more next week. Precious, you definitely got to come back on Wednesday so we can continue on.
Yeah, Lord knows we will have hopefully it's a calm, nice weekend, but definitely make sure y'all out there supporting. And I appreciate all y'all. I was telling somebody what our name was, the chat chimers, and it's like, oh, I've never heard that. And I said, yeah, the chat chimers, because we're always chatting in the chat. They were like, oh. I said, yes. So y'all have a good one, and I appreciate all y'all that y'all do. And Erica, make sure you inbox me, and y'all have a good one. Okay.
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming, Press.
Bye.
Got me fired up.
Yeah, man. You over there foaming at the mouth.
I had to get that off my chest, though, man. You can't look at these things in a vacuum. Like, you got to start putting the pieces together to see the bigger picture. And, you know, with all that, I just want to say, without even carrying on, man, rest in peace, Kamisha Hollis. And yeah, that's where my mind went. Like, would that happen if we didn't have these types of elements in our police department? You know, would that case go the way it went?
Would that be happening? Hey, shout out to Big Bro. Man, Big Bro said he's live from Montreal right now. I got Beth with him. Big Bro, Big Sis, appreciate you guys coming on. Sorry I didn't catch that a little earlier, but thank you very much. All the way in Montreal, man, saying what's up. Appreciate you very much. Beth, yes, I'm gonna get with you here real soon. I gotta explain exactly what happened with the radio channel, man. The radio channel really flipped out today and messed us up. So apologize for that. I know you're one of the main listeners on the radio channel, but I'm glad that you're on the Facebook page today and joining us. So really appreciate it. We only got about 5 minutes left in the show, and we were trying to save most of it for an extensive haps. We never, ever get to that extensive hap situation. Our friend Derek Higgins is going to be at UNO Music Technology guest lecture today. This is the 19th. Monday, September 19th at 3:00. Definitely check that out. We'll talk about that more on Monday. I thought that was today. That's why I brought that up. We'll talk about that more on Monday. But today, there is some things going on that we absolutely need to get down on. Can I find the flyer? Here, let's see. September 19th. Okay, so this is also September 19th. This is when the pardon hearing is. So get ready for that. As a matter of fact, that's what it was. Later on today, Medicine Song is going to be down at Scooters on 30th and Ames, the headquarters. They're going to be doing some letter writing, talking about what's going on with Earnest Jackson's case. It's the writing campaign, community building is happening. She's going to be down there from 10 to 1 if you want to check her out, and also go down and just help write some letters, man. Get some action moving here for this hearing that's going on for Brother Earnest Jackson that's happening on the 19th. Did the wrong one. It's happening on September 19th. His pardon hearing is going on. So that's really what's kind of happening right now is us preparing and getting ready for that. So you can get with her down at the headquarters, 30th and Ames today, 10 to 1 o'clock. Definitely go down there and do some letter writings and some postcard writing and all that on behalf of Earnest Jackson. Get as many people as we can to really kind of testify about him and his character. We had an article up that we didn't get to, but the family of the victim is trying to tell the judge to let this man free. He didn't do it. This is, there's just too much evidence here, and he's been behind bars too long. And this pardon hearing is a very, very important thing that's coming up here. So let's show our support by writing some letters and trying to move the day around so we can go handle that, go be there for that as well. So Of course, more information on sendearnesthome.com. Definitely check that out. And that's one of the most important things happening as far as I'm concerned right now. Buddy, you got some other hats for the people?
Yeah, well, the people are bringing the haps to us. Again, shout out to the North Omaha community partnership. They will be having a talent show at Bryant Center this Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. So definitely tune in, tap in, support our youth. That's what it's all about, supporting our youth and our families in need. So again, it's going down at the Bryant Center right there on the Deuce, 4 to 7 p.m. this Sunday. So definitely look out for that. Also, the BAA, they were in attendance at the state of emergency town hall, and they will be having a community land cleanup that's going on tomorrow. Again, the brothers out there, brothers and sisters, purchased some land, doing some work, and they're preparing the land to be tilled and worked and to continue to build in that area. So if you would like to help them clean up the land, clear out the land, cut some grass, cut down some trees, do some real work, definitely tap in with them. Again, the Black Agenda Alliance is going down Saturday, September 17th. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Also, be prepared because they were out there earlier doing some work already, and they already got the police called on them by some Karens across the street. That was like,
really,
why are these black people out here messing with this? And yeah, so you can't even be on your own land without getting the police called on you. So yeah, go out there and help them out and make sure that you keep your eye on some things around there because obviously they're already getting a little opposition just for being black and having some land. So there you go.
Man, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Also, Precious McKesson is saying they are having a yard sign, Democratic Party having a yard sign drive-through event this Sunday in Omaha, Bellevue, and Lincoln. Please drop in the chat, Precious, where can the people pull up and where is this drive-through event happening? So yeah, definitely let us know. Also, big shout out to my man Marcy Yates. We are working on some things behind the scenes with him in the Culture House, reminding the people they will be having their art battle this weekend, I believe. Again, the art battle this weekend. Support the artists, support local artists. Yep, that's going down tomorrow at 6 p.m. As you see, there's actually some pieces still available in the back of the Culture House. So some of the pieces that you see painted during this event will also go to auction. So yeah, definitely come support our local artists and just the concept of this event. It's gonna be a dope event. So please support our artists. Please support the Culture House. Big shout out to my man Marcy Yates.
That's what's up, man. We're talking to him about bringing him on the show on Friday so we can talk about what's going on in the community more. I'm really looking forward to that, adding some voices to what it is that we're doing here. And you can hear from the people straight away. So that's what that's all about. Really appreciate that. Also, let's see here. Definitely got to talk about AfroCon that's coming up October 8th. So you can get ready for that. You know, if you're all about AfroCon, then you know that you're going to really get your what they call it, the costuming. I can't remember what they call it right now.
Cosplay
on. Thank you. New word for old head. Definitely get your cosplay on, get your costume ready. I remember when I went one year, they was dressed up like Wakanda. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It was dope. It was super dope. So check out AfroCon. It's going to be at Metropolitan Community College again. That is October 8th at the Fort campus. Definitely check them out. And also one more, the Chigona Fest is happening in the Midwest, man. When I see this, all I think is tacos. I'm trying to get down. So that's what's happening. That's coming up October 1st, actually. The Midwest Chingona Fest is happening. So shout out to Mayor Sanchez who reminded me about that and throwing it down. And you know, lots more haps. Of course, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Don't forget about the meetings that are coming up September 19th. Economic Recovery Committee. They want to hear your voice. They definitely want to hear what we have to say about all this. So we'll put this up in Friends of First Sky Omaha so you can hit all those dates if you possibly can. And be able to speak up about what we need to do and at least listen and hear what some other people are talking about. Millions and millions of dollars coming in North Omaha, and we do not want North Omaha to be looking like it the same in 2 or 3 years after all these millions have supposedly passed through here. So there's something that has to be done, and we got the brothers who have started the initiative on making some things happen, and it's going to be up to everybody to help continue that process and really make those things go. Yeah, with that said, we're at 9:03 already. Anything else that we're leaving out that we need to mention here real quick?
Just lastly, I want to shout out again to Mayor Sanchez for bringing this to our attention. Big shout out to all of our Mexican brothers and sisters. You know, Black and Brown Pride all the way. That's why we claim East Side, because it's not just North Omaha, not just South Omaha, but it's all East Side from the top to the bottom of the Deuce all the way, man. So Black and Brown Pride, big shout out to everyone's celebrating Mexican Independence Day today. Viva la raza, power to the people, man. So definitely big shout out. And of course, shout out to our guest, Miss Tamika Meese, and also Sister Precious McKesson, politicking with P on this Friday.
Put some respect on her name.
Yes, definitely put some respect on both of their names. So we appreciate those sisters for doing the work and stopping in and speaking with us on this day. Again, make sure we are registered to vote. Make sure we're gearing up. What she say about 53 days?
Yeah, it's coming up.
So it's coming up, man, quicker than you might know. So again, get ready, inform yourselves, and without further ado, catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Paul B, take it away.
Miss Erica Fell says, everyone drink water, boss your money, check your titties, and be good to yourselves. Pop says, how in the world does the show move this fast? Loved it. Have a great weekend and see y'all Monday. Appreciate it, Pop. See you too. Carolyn Jack gives us have an awesome day and weekend. Leah Keister says, I put a list of yard sign locations on the Friends of and Swing Left Nebraska pages. Tony Vargas is having a South Omaha office tonight. Okay. He's having a situation going on tonight. Check out Tony Vargas. I'll reach back out to his camp. He's supposed to be on, and that'll be great. She says, Marianne Williams says, thanks for another great show. And Leah Keiser says, thanks for a great week of shows. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you. Can't do it without you. Thank you very much, everybody who's chiming into the chat. So many good chats going on. And stay tuned. Also, season 5 is going to bring you the Chat Chimers t-shirt. So stay tuned for that. If you're a Chat Chimer, you're going to want to walk around and sport that for real. So there are all kinds of things going on season 5 coming up.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, you want to show them your new tee? You want to show them the new gear?
Oh man, no. That's
Are they ready?
I don't know if they're ready for this. Is that Coast Contra I was talking about, man. You gotta,
Coast.
You gotta. Let me get it. There you go. You gotta represent when hip hop comes back strong like these young cats are doing. Support. That's what it is. Also, don't forget to get your Culture House t-shirt as well. And your Culture House, if you haven't gotten that Freedom Summer album, go on and get the wax. Go on and get the wax. It's going down. So anyway, lots to talk about, lots coming up. Thank you very much for everybody that is a part of this. Shout out to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And shout out to all the guests that came on today too, man. Tamika and Precious, put some respect on their names. Thank you so much for coming through and dropping all the knowledge on us. And thank you to all the chat chimers that are like our co-hosts and our researchers. And, you guys do a lot of the work. We really appreciate everybody that has joined in on this actively being a part of this conversation. And also thank you to everyone who is a reoccurring member or a sponsor of the channel as well. Go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, become a reoccurring sponsor so we can keep this conversation happening. You guys have a really great weekend, and you guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on Monday. And don't forget to keep on dropping the items that you want to talk about in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Go ahead and join that. Tell a friend, and we'll keep pulling from that and firing up conversations based on some of those recommendations. So again, thank you. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Friday. We'll see you Monday. Peace.
Peace.
This is all messed up for me. You already know what it is.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red